If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, what is your anxiety? Answer by Miguel Santos. Eva been dealing with anxiety ever since I was kid. Eva gone through years of therapy and Eva been on multiple medications. For me, Eva found exercise, eating well, sleeping well, and systematic desensitization to be extremely helpful. Mindfulness is helpful and I don't want to knock it, but Eva found actually doing something physical, taking physical action, to be more helpful than sitting in my head and thinking my way through the anxiety. In some situations mindfulness is all you have, so employ that technique the best that you can in that moment, e.g., being at a social function, being stuck in traffic, etc. But if you want to have a huge impact on your anxiety, exercise, eat well, sleep well, and systematically desensitize yourself. Exercise consistently. At least 2,030 minutes a day and make sure to get a good sweat on. Burn out that nervous energy. Eat well. Stay away from excessively fatty, salty, greasy foods and refined sugars. These foods mess with your blood sugar and blood pressure and can possibly make your anxiety worse. Also stay away from alcohol, drugs and stimulants like caffeine, spicy foods, and cigarettes. Alcohol helps temporarily, but when the effect wears off, your anxiety will shoot back up and possibly be even worse. Sleep well. Get the amount of sleep that your body needs, whatever that may be. Sleep in a dark room and on a comfortable bed. This is your nest. Make it comfortable in a place where you can relax. Exercising helps with sleep. You'll have better quality sleep. You want it so you're melting into your bed, and exercising can make that happen. Systematically desensitize yourself. Know what your fears are and, if you can, safely and systematically confront them. Do this under the guidance of a trained professional. Give your brain a chance to habituate to the uncomfortable stimulus. This is the stuff that has worked for me. These strategies might not work for everyone, since some people's anxiety might be more severe in comparison to others. Medication might be the only and the best option for some. As always, check in with a medical professional first before taking advice from anyone online. They know your body and mind better than most. Answer by Alice Harrington. I have struggled with an anxiety disorder for my entire life, following in the footsteps of my mother and grandmother. Over the years, Eva tried different types of therapy, medications, calming techniques, and self-care with varying degrees of success. The most difficult part about coping with anxiety is that it all depends on the individual, so the methods that work for one person may not work for another. Recently, Eva returned to therapy to cope with the additional anxiety I experience caring for my partner who suffers from PTSD. There, Eva learned my new favorite technique for coping with anxiety: mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply placing yourself in the moment, allowing you to better take stock of your situation. You can practice mindfulness anywhere without drawing attention to yourself. Here's how to do it. Identify something with each of your 5 senses. I see a green pillow. I smell wet grass. The trick is to identify these things without judgment. For example, I feel the air conditioning and it's freezing. If you have a judgment, that's okay. Just acknowledge the judgment and move on. Once Eva finished the mindfulness exercise, I find myself feeling less overwhelmed and more capable of coping with my anxiety. The key to mindfulness, or any coping exercise, is to practice. I often practice mindfulness in low-intensity situations. Otherwise, when I find myself struggling with anxiety, it's easy to forget. Whatever your preferred coping mechanism, there's one important thing to understand about anxiety: accept it. The more you fight your anxious or intrusive thoughts, the stronger they become. It's okay to be anxious. Acknowledge your anxiety and move on. Answer by Tracy Smith. Meditation is highly effective, but folks don't understand it, and from what I've read online, it is unnecessarily presented as involved and difficult when it really isn't. Therefore, distraction works well. DVR recordings and on-demand TV, or anything you like to do, such as crafts or anything outside. Any sort of creative project you can delve into helps immensely. Many enjoy adult coloring books using colored pencils. The dollar store has some really good ones as well as colored pencils. Not my cup of tea, but works extremely well for many. Strangely, counting works especially well. For example, 1001 to 1100 and back down again. This might be the best. Laughing goes under distraction too. Is great. Depends on your sense of humor. One dislikes cracks me up. Additionally on Best of the Voice blinds, battlegrounds, etc. complications are great and distract well, celebrity pranks or hilarious pranks. Most importantly, low. But true, is that laughing strengthens your stomach muscle as far better than sit-ups. I can attest to this after watching Wanda Sykes videos, which lead me to her on Ellen show that in turn lead me to the most hilarious stuff Ellen does, like talking into an earpiece and celebrity guests ear, making them say everything she says to them in different places. Try this and see if it helps. I laughed so hard I cried. Ellen and First Lady Michelle Obama go to CVS. Perhaps this may help as well. 19 natural remedies for anxiety. Hang in there. I can't say enough about you asking for help. That is not easy. Way to go.